I need to remind you all that Abraham Lincoln does not meet the criteria of being a warrior for justice. And thankfully, a San Francisco school recognizes that. San Francisco to rename Abraham Lincoln High School because former president did not demonstrate that Black lives mattered to him. It's true, guys. Ending slavery is not enough. I'm Tyler Zed. Welcome to Zeducation. Welcome to my channel and welcome to another SJW episode where we highlight and we document the insanity that we are seeing with this social justice movement and this push for social change. Take, for example, the intro. The presidents that ended slavery is now being erased. His memory is being erased because he didn't do enough. Ended slavery. Yes. As always on this series, if you cringe at any of these examples, you win. It means your brain is working. It means you know that this stuff is not uniting people. It's not doing anything positive. It's not bringing people together, period. And if you are new to this series, before we get into the rest of today's examples, which come in the form of many things, with gender, with fat phobia, with race, the social justice movement is far and wide. But before we get into the rest of today's examples, let me just show you this one here. Back in the 1960s, this is what our world was. We were segregated. This was not okay, obviously, and those laws are gone. But they're coming back in other forms, like this. In 2020, DEI session, people of color. DEI session, people who are whites. Separating and dividing based on what we look like. This is where we are. Nothing has changed. It's just coming back in another form. And this is okay in 2020. How is this uniting and how is this healing? Somebody, please tell me in the comments. Please enlighten me. While you're down there in the comments, letting me know what you think about that, please like this video. Also, please be sure that you are subscribed and have the bell clicked for notifications when new videos are uploaded. Now, let's get on to some more examples of this absurdity that we are seeing in our culture today. And if you cringe, you win. From the National Review, medical ethicist, elderly shouldn't get vaccines first because they're too white. And in this article, older populations are whites. Instead of giving additional health benefits to those who already had more of them, we can start to level the playing field a bit. Yeah. Equality, unity. We're starting it off right, guys. It's just, don't give white people vaccines. It's just not fair. That's not equal. Nancy Pelosi, who described $600 as a significant stimulus for working families, has a net worth of more than $100 million. Psst, your misogyny is showing. Don't criticize any women. That's misogynistic, okay? You can't criticize Nancy Pelosi. That means you hate women.
If you want to be a great ally to fat people, here are some things you can do. When you go to the doctor, encourage them to do the following things. Eliminate any weight or BMI cutoff policies. Stop using the BMI completely because it is ineffective and racist. Get medical equipment that will actually work for fat patients, like blood pressure cuffs that fit and won't give a false high reading because they're too tight. Set up their office in a way that makes it usable for fat people, like putting chairs without arms in every room. When you go to a clothing store, tell them to expand their size range. It does not matter what their size range currently is. Tell them to expand it. If you work in education, get in touch with the health and PE departments. Ask them if they have anything in their curriculum that involves students weighing themselves, counting calories, or using the BMI in any capacity.
The BMI scale has problems. I used to work in healthcare, but it's not racist. And it actually is a good indicator of whether or not you are obese or not, unless you are a bodybuilder or have a ton of muscle. Because if you're jacked, if you're Arnold Schwarzenegger, it's going to tell you that you're obese because you have higher density in your body. But if you're not muscular and you are bigger, it's a pretty good indicator that you need to make some changes. There's nothing sexier than a nice beta male. Women, is this what you want in your life? Do you want a beta that you can throw around and dominate? Is that what you want?
I have this thing, call it a little quirk if you will. I have hair in my armpits. I have it there for a few reasons. 1, lazy. 2, fuck the patriarchy. And 3, your response to them tells me everything I need to know about you.
My response to this is, I hope you find happiness, but the chances of that are very, very, very low, and I pity you. I do. In an effort to be more inclusive of transgender people, the Provincial Court of British Columbia has created a new policy asking lawyers to provide pronouns when introducing themselves and their clients in court. Coming to a US Congress near you. The votes of Black Americans should count twice. Vote reparations would empower us to replace oppressive institutions with life-affirming structures of equality. Promoting equality and also promoting 2 votes for some Americans and 1 vote for others. They're doing that in the same article. Very ironic. Chicago chef Stephanie Izzard apologizes after culturally appropriating a Korean dish on Instagram. Finally, we are addressing the cultural appropriation of food. Guys, Italians, stand up for yourselves. No more pizza across America. That's appropriating Italian food. All right? So I'm glad that we're taking a stand, finally, against culturally appropriating food.
I love how spiritual white people just blatantly ignore the fact that their ancestors were literally evil.
85,000 likes. Again, unity, equality. Your ancestors were evil, and if you ignore that, you're evil.
My heart hurts with all my fat peers today. Even though she won't say it and will probably try to excuse it, I'm sorry that Lizzo did this to us. We are worthy, and what she posted was so effed. If you are triggered and upset by it, I'm right there with you.
I literally almost got a Lizzo tattoo once. Very glad now that I didn't. If it was her own personal struggle she was keeping to herself, that'd be one thing. But to promote it like that, definitely a betrayal when she's one of the few I thought I could look up to.
Like, she's this popular because she connected with us, and now it's like a slap in the face. Promoting stuff that directly damages the community we thought she was rallying for with.
And if you're not aware of what Lizzo did, is she went on a diet. She was drinking shakes or something. And she betrayed her community. Yeah.
This is your annual reminder that not everyone celebrates Christmas. The default to Merry Christmas as a normal greeting is also white supremacy culture at work. If someone celebrates, by all means, but so many people don't.
Christmas. White supremacy. Get it straight. Oh, yes, the George Floyd tributes continue. I don't know what this is doing to honor him. Making fatheads, dolls of George Floyd. Kind of weird. And then we got a snow sculpture here in Minnesota honoring old George Floyd. You know, and some people, they're still doing this, but I just want to remind you guys that the election is over. People aren't going to care anymore for 4 years, and we have proof of this. 2016 election, the interest in BLM through search engines. You could see the spike before the 2016 election, and then once it was over, nothing for 4 years. 2020 election, it's over. This is a political tool. Politicians, they don't actually care. They don't.
White men are by far the worst thing to happen to this cesspool of a planet, by far.
1,200 likes.
All men are horrible, to be honest. Every single last race of them. There's probably only 5% of good men left in this world.
Listen, my black queen said white men, so let them be the focus. You just have to laugh at this. This is insanity. Unity, guys. Unite. Heal. I also just want to remind you guys that these aren't just some fringe tweets out there that have a couple of likes. These tweets that I'm showing are getting thousands of engagements. This is being accepted by many, many people. My white guilt is so prevalent that I don't feel comfortable with the idea of having 100% white children. It's hard to tell if this is satire or not, but I'm just going to go ahead and say, with everything else we've seen already, that this is real. Drinking water upholds white supremacy, as many African countries don't have access to clean water. If you drink it, you are responsible for racism and poverty. All right. I refuse to believe that that one's real. That is definitely satire. If it isn't, then we have some serious problems. We already have serious problems, but if this is where people's heads are at, wow. Regarding military hair standards for women, I'm just gonna drop this here. Tell me what I gain as a leader and soldier by having to transform the hair on the left into the hair on the right every morning. And go ahead, ask me how I do it. It's usually the first question I get. I'm just gonna go ahead and say, if you can't fall within line of the military regulations, You don't belong in the military. That's the truth. And once we start being lenient on that stuff, which is already happening, by the way, good luck against countries like China in the future. We're screwed. China doesn't care about this stuff. They don't care at all. They are laughing when they see crap like this. I'm watching The Crown, disappointed by the lack of diversity in this cast. All right, Whitney Cummings is a comedian, so I'm pretty sure she's joking here, but I don't know. That's where we're at, is I don't know when people are joking about this stuff anymore. She could be serious. And there's probably a lot of people out there that are serious. Biden wants to pick Boston Mayor Marty Walsh for Labor Secretary, but is concerned about him being white. Can you imagine? Can you imagine if it said something like, but is concerned about him being any other race? That's where we're at. This is okay now. This is normalized. And this is going to continue to be normalized and pushed harder and harder for the next 2 years after the Dems won the Senate. This is who is left at the White House to advise Donald Trump, write his speeches, and push his policies. This is Stephen Miller. Note the white power sign he is making inside the White House press briefing room. Right now, America is being guided by a white supremacist. And there's a symbol. It looks to me like he is adjusting his coats, just using my brain. But I also want to ask you, Mr. Winslow, if this symbol matters or if this one matters. People like this guy are insane. They see what they want to see. This is the world they want to live in. They want to see this. They want to create something out of nothing. And then they push it to people and people believe it. It's disgusting. A transgender activist called for every child to be put on puberty blockers until they can make an informed decision on their gender. It's real. That's real. Senator Hirono wants men to just shut up and do the right thing for a change. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. All right? Shut up, everyone. Don't question this stuff. Don't criticize it. Let it run amok. Okay? Justice. Justice involves erasing the guy who ended slavery. Justice involves men shutting up, and justice involves modern segregation. For justice, for equality, and for unity, guys, just shut up. Let me know how you guys did in today's episode. Did you cringe at all? Are you for justice and equality and unity? Are you? Let me know in the comments. While you're down there, please like this video. Please help me get it recommended to others. That's it for today's video. Until next time, I'm Tyler Zed, and this is Education.
A man and a woman.
Idiots.